Head coach Derek Pittman joining us now, head coach of UTSA women's soccer team. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. A little bit of a different off season for you and your girls. Right now, you'd be gearing up for summer workouts. You'd be getting ready for practice and a long, hard summer of work. That's not been the case because of this pandemic. First of all, how different has the last couple of months been for you and your team this off season?
Definitely different. The way it landed for us, we were on spring break when all this kind of broke, and the unfortunate thing is we didn't have any of our spring games scheduled until after spring break, and so unfortunately we were unable to play any of our spring contests. We really kind of used the period prior to spring break as a very heavy strength conditioning period for our players to get faster, stronger, fitter, all of those things. And then we start to kind of break into a little bit more of the technical, tactical training, the different things we want to implement after spring break. So it definitely was difficult because we missed out on all of that. On top of that, I hired a brand new assistant coach in Carl Goody, joining us from LSU. He started March 1st. He got to work with the team for all of about 2 weeks before we went on spring break. And so he's even just eager right now to be able to get back out with the team, get his, just to be able to familiarize himself. He's been watching a ton of videos. So it's definitely been a change. We've had regular Zoom calls with our players. We have we did a couple different things. We tried a couple different ideas. First, it started in just small groups of 3 or 4 players at a time, and kind of talking to them about what they were dealing with academically, what were they, how are we trying to keep them fit, early on, which seems so long ago at this point in time, but it was only 8-9 weeks ago, is that they were just all like, everyone was just confused. Like, what is this going to do? How long is this going to last? When can we come back? All of those types of questions. And here we are 2.5 months later and still dealing with some of these challenges. And so it's definitely been different. I have a great relationship with my players. And so not being able to see them in person on a regular basis has been difficult. Seeing their faces on a video screen is definitely something that's a little bit challenging, but we're making it through. We're doing okay.
There's been a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, speculation about what will happen with collegiate sports in the fall, this 2020 fall season. I'm interested to hear what have been the talks surrounding Conference USA sports in the fall. If and when they do open, what will that look like? What have you heard?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Who has the 8 ball? Who the magic 8 ball that we can all, I wish we could just shake it and say yes, you will be back. But I would first of all give credit to Dr. Lisa Campos and our entire administration. They've done a phenomenal job keeping all of us coaches in the loop, if you will, or at least informed as much as they can. I know there's many more conversations, like you said, that are going on at the conference level, going on within our university level. The biggest thing is we're all just kind of sitting tight and waiting to hear what do our city officials think is best, what is the safety of our community. They're the ones that are ultimately, guiding the first step. And then once we hear from them what we can and can't do as the city continues to open up and kind of reacclimate, that then kind of gives us a little bit more information, a little bit more of a guideline as to what we can do here in San Antonio. I know for us as coaches, we want to be back in the office. Doing these Zoom calls all the time can get a bit annoying, and you feel like, you just get sick and tired of seeing each other across the screen. But as far as our conference is concerned, as far as our university level is concerned, as soon as President Amy gives us, starts to give us a little bit of a green light, hopefully we'll start to be able to enter back onto campus whenever they determine that is an opportunity for us to do so. As far as our scheduling, everyone across the country, regardless of Power 5, Group of 5, you name it, FBS, FCS level, we're all facing some, a lot of challenges. And I think the leadership that we have within our administration has done a very good job of keeping us in the loop as to what we are maybe facing, what we might. We're running tons of scenarios. What does it look like if everything kicks off just like we want it to, and football returns to somewhat of normal, where we have a decent, we're playing in the Alamo Dome and we have a lot of fans. And if that's the case, then hopefully the impact that we're facing, or the struggles and challenges that we're facing, are pretty minimal, to where hopefully our players don't feel a lot of that effect. And I think Dr. Campos has done a great job as far as understanding whatever changes, whatever challenges we're facing, we want to keep that effect to as minimal as possible when it comes to our student athletes. And so we're doing everything we can to make sure that's the case. We know that our conference at the Conference USA level will be probably adjusting our schedule a little bit. So some of the discussions that have been discussed or thrown around is actually taking currently right now in soccer. We have all 14 schools have women's soccer. We currently play 10 of those 14 or 10 of those 13 opponents. So we miss out on 3 teams every year. They're discussing now is to actually go into divisions, just like what football does, and have an East and a West division, and you play the teams in your respective division, which is great. It drives some rivalries with, North Texas, Rice, UTEP. For us specifically, the other teams that would be in our division would be Southern Miss, La Tech, and UAB, just like the way that football has it designed. And if we do that, then that's great. I think really exciting. And then the hope is that we can also keep our conference tournament from being reduced any more than it needs to be. But as of right now, we are still planning on our entire team being back here by August 1st, starting training camp and our practice sessions by August 4th, which is the first day that we officially can start as the rules stand now.
Until then, as you mentioned, there's still a lot of details that need to be sorted out. How do you, as a head coach, prepare your team, your staff, your program for the season to start on time, despite all of these unknown variables, despite all of this adversity and these obstacles that are keeping you and your team from ultimately preparing for what is the 2020 fall season?
Well, we as a staff, we've kind of been taking the approach of as if, like, listen, we need to continue moving forward as if we're starting August 1st. And so we want to make sure that we have, our philosophies in place, our coach, anything that we need to be working. We're even going to steps of planning what are those first few training sessions looking like in August. Not only is everybody going to have a smile from ear to ear, I think there's going to be a lot of enjoyment and a lot, just excitement and enthusiasm around that. And then we just take the challenges as they come. Another thing we talk about within our team is solve problems. No matter what's coming at us, we feel that we're grounded in who we are. We feel like we're grounded in how we play. We feel like we're grounded in the things that we ask of our players on a regular basis. And if we have to change, if we have to adapt, if we have to, be flexible in that regard, then we're prepared to do that. And we want to prepare ourselves so that we're still playing on August 20th. As of right now, our season opener is August 20th. And we're supposed to go up the road and play in Austin at the University of Texas. That's our season opener at the Longhorns. And we're, again, planning as if that is when we need to be ready. That is when we're going to kick off the season, and everything is centered around that. If adjustments come from there, then we'll be prepared to adapt and solve those problems as needed. But I feel like we have a really strong group of leaders within our team and on our coaching staff, and we have tremendous support staff around us, from our trainers, from our strength conditioning coach, academic coordinators, those individuals that are doing a great job and are prepared to, adjust as needed.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and obviously best of luck this summer session. Best of luck in all your workouts, and we look forward to hearing more and more as the NCAA and also Conference USA comes out with more details about the 2020 season. But thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate the time. And we can't wait for soccer to be back out there at Park West. Like I said, that's my background here. You know,
It's a
I'm
great
dreaming.
background. What a great day.
Yeah, I'm dreaming of being out there as soon as possible. But you know, it was great this weekend, even to be able to see professional soccer started back up in Germany, and so there was a lot of us that were glued to the television just to be able to watch. And in fact, I saw that the Bundesliga had the highest TV ratings they've ever had, which again, people
That's
want
great.
sports. Let's get ourselves back out there, even if it's with no fans. We want to be able to provide a product that people get excited about and continue supporting us here at UTSA. So again, I appreciate your time, Jill. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Take care.